Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Good morning, y'all. So I'm trying to get everything situated for today. I'm going to be streaming live on Twitter. I'm going to be streaming live on TikTok. So just give me 1 second to get that up and going. We're going to get ready for the pre-show mantra. The pre-show mantra is where I set the stage for today. Let's do it. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be rich. I deserve to be wealthy. I deserve to be free. The more you learn, the more you earn. Thereby, the more you earn. Thereby, the more you learn, the more you earn. I am a certified Wall Street trapper. I am confident in my abilities to make great investments. The stock market is a machine, and I am more than capable of operating this machine. The more you learn, the more you earn. Thereby, the more you earn, the more you learn. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Let's get into it, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe, welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast, and welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers family. This is a live market breakdown covering the $1 trillion stocks, SPX, the NASDAQ 100, SPY, and QQQ. We cover pre-market levels, opening bell moves, headlines that move the market and or are associated with our $1 trillion stocks. We'll be looking at charts, check on Bitcoin levels and Ethereum levels, and some motivation along the way. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation to your knowledge. Let's get into it. So let me show you the market cap of our $1 trillion tickers. NVIDIA, the number one most valuable company in the world. Most valuable company ever. NVIDIA is $4.5 trillion. Number two, Apple, $4 trillion. Number three, Google, $3.7 trillion. Number four, Microsoft, $3.6 trillion. Number five, Amazon, $2.4 trillion. Number six, Meta, $1.67 trillion. Number seven, AVGO, $1.65 trillion. Number eight, TSM, $1.55 trillion. Number nine, Tesla, $1.51 trillion. And number 10, Berkshire.B, $1 trillion, y'all. All right, let's check out these pre-market levels. NVIDIA looking good in the pre-market, y'all. NVIDIA definitely been pushing the market forward, been pushing the market up today. Pre-market low for NVIDIA, 186.59. Pre-market high, 190.19. Apple, pre-market low, 272.12. Pre-market high, 273.08. Google, pre-market low, 312 even. Pre-market high, 314.13. Microsoft, pre-market low, 486 even. Pre-market high, oh, it's moved up a little bit. Let me see. Pre-market high, 488.35. Amazon, pre-market low, 231.70. Pre-market high, 232.85. Meta, pre-market low, 662.24. Pre-market high, 667.10. AVGO, pre-market low, 347.30. Pre-market high, 351. Tesla, pre-market low, 452.52. Pre-market high, 458.36. TSM, pre-market low, 301.01. Pre-market high, 304.19. Berkshire.B, pre-market low, 305.41. Pre-market high, 504.18. The VIX is at 14.59, y'all. SPY pre-market low, 685 even. Pre-market high, 687.77. QQQ pre-market low, 616.70. Pre-market high, 620.57. SPX pre-market low, 6,875. Pre-market high, 6,904. The NASDAQ 100 pre-market low, 25,334, and a pre-market high of 25,497, y'all. All right, we're going to get into some news. Give me 1 second. Shout out to everybody on TikTok. The NASDAQ 100 that's tuning in. Pre-market low. This is also streaming on YouTube. So I just want to let y'all know that if you want to be able to see my full screen, I know that I have an angle on my camera on my phone. So this is my first time streaming on TikTok. So, you know what I mean? Don't go crazy in the comments based on that. So I normally stream my show on YouTube every single day. So this is my first time streaming on TikTok, and I'm streaming from my phone. So if it's not the perfect angle, you know what I mean? I apologize for that. But you can go on my YouTube right now, Matt Riches 510 AI Music, and I'm live streaming on YouTube if you want to be able to see my entire screen. Okay, so I just wanted to let y'all know that. We're going to get into some motivation before we get into the stocks that open at 6:30, y'all.
If nobody has told you today, keep going. Not because it's easy, not because it feels good, but because quitting will cost you the version of yourself that you are still becoming. And I know you're tired. I know it feels like you've been strong for too long. I know some days you wake up already exhausted from yesterday, but listen to me closely. You did not come this far just to stop at the part where it finally starts to matter. Progress does not always look like wins. Sometimes it looks like getting up again and again and again. Sometimes it looks like choosing discipline, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. Sometimes it looks like showing up quietly while nobody's clapping yet. And that is the part that most people do not survive, the unseen part, the lonely part, the season where you are doing everything right and it still feels slow. But slow does not mean stuck. Silent does not mean forgotten. Delayed does not mean denied. There is strength in you that you have not had to use yet. There is clarity ahead that will make this season make sense. There is a version of you watching right now, hoping you do not give up before they get a chance to exist. Keep pushing. Even when you doubt yourself, keep going. Even when nobody understands your vision, keep building. Even when the results are not obvious yet, because growth is happening in places you cannot see. Your character is forming. Your resilience is deepening. Your endurance is sharpening. One day you're going to look back at this moment and realize it was not meant to break you. It was meant to prove to you how strong you already were. So breathe, stand back up, take the next step, not because everything is perfect, but because you are still here. And that means your story is not finished yet. Keep going. Somebody needs the strength you are building right now. And one day that someone will be you.
Yes, y'all. You know, it's a stock market show, but I also give motivation. You know what I mean? And I give breaking news. So I always like to start my show out like that. You know what I mean? I consider that piece of the mantra. So we're going to get into these stocks. The market opens in 6 minutes. So let's get into some news. Before we get into the news, let's talk about this money a little bit. What we gonna do with this money?
Damn, bro. What you gonna do with all that money?
Make more money.
Okay, and with that money?
Make more money.
And with that money?
Make more money.
That's all we gonna do, y'all. We gonna get this money, and we gonna make some more, and we gonna make some more, and we gonna make some more. You heard? All right. Let's check out. So I said some of these companies. I said some of these jobs yesterday, but the list was so long that I didn't read them all. So Microsoft released a study showing the 40 jobs most likely to get taken by AI. So if you listen to yesterday's show, I said about 20 of them. So I'm gonna go over them right now, and you can, if you work in this industry or if this is your job title, then be aware because Microsoft put this list out to let you know that your job will be taken by AI. I'm gonna give you the percentage as well to let you know. My job is on here. So if your job is on here, hey, you're not alone. So it's up to us to get this money from the market. And when AI takes our jobs, at least we will be, seasoned investors and traders, and we'll be able to pivot our lives to just making money strictly off the stock market. We are invested, at least I am invested in the AI companies that lead the AI revolution. So AI may take my job, but I will be making money off the companies that run AI. So it's up to me to be prepared for when AI takes my job. And it's also up to you, y'all. All right, let's get back to the list. Okay, mathematicians, you have a 91% chance of AI taking your job. Technical writers, 83% chance of AI taking your job. Proofreaders and copy markers, 91% chance of AI taking your job. Hosts and hostesses, 60% chance of AI taking your job. Editors, 78%. Business teachers and post-secondary teachers, 70% chance. Public relations specialists, 63% chance. Demonstrators and product promoters, 64% chance. Advertising sales agents, 66% chance. New account clerks, 72% chance. Statistical assistants, 85% chance. Counters and retail clerks, 62% chance. Data scientists, 77% chance. Personal finance advisors, 69% chance. Economic teachers and post-secondary teachers, 68% chance. Web developers, 73% chance. Management analysts, 68% chance. Geographers, 77% chance. Models, 64% chance. Models, definitely, because I'll be making some beautiful AI models, and they can just pay me to make them a beautiful AI model instead of paying y'all models. So models, your job getting took too. I think it's more than 64%. Because if you check out some of my AI models that I made with Grok, yeah, they fired. So models getting their jobs took too. Photographers getting their jobs took. Video editors getting their jobs took. Market research analysts getting their jobs took. Public safety communicators getting their jobs took. I'm telling you, AI is taking jobs, y'all. It's going to take my job. It's going to take your job too. So it's up to you to prepare so you won't be destroyed. All right, we got 1 minute before market opens. I'm not going to be able to read this piece of news that fast. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that one. Next piece of news is from Unusual Whales. It's from Sam Altman, founder and CEO of OpenAI. He said, the biggest economic misunderstanding of my childhood was that people got rich from high salaries. That's big facts. That's big facts. I was thinking the same thing. Man, all I gotta do is get a good job with a high salary and I'll get rich. But that shit is not true. That shit is not true at all, y'all. It's not about that. It's about starting your own business. It's about, being an entrepreneur. It's about home ownership. And it's about investing in the stock market. And if you do those three things, then you could get rich. It don't matter if you got a high salary. I seen articles talking about if you make six figures, you still living check to check for the most part in America. 6:30, y'all. 6:30, 6:30. Market open, market open. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Market open. December 31st, 2025. The last day of the year. The last day of the market for 2025. Y'all, let's get it. Let's get to this money. You know we gonna get to this money. We on this $1 trillion ticker show, y'all. That's what we do. We get to the money. All right, let's check it out. NVIDIA, it's up over 1%. 189.80 right now, y'all. Apple barely over break even. Let me move my chart out so you can see these candles. You know what I mean? Apple barely over break even at 273.38. Google is down 0.5% at 312.29. Microsoft barely under break even at 487.45. Amazon barely under break even at 232.43. Meta is down 0.25% at 664.19. AVGO is headed toward being down 0.25% at 349.50. Tesla barely over break even at 455. TSM, it's up over 1.5% at 304.70. Berkshire.B barely under break even at 503.36. The VIX is up 1.4% at 1455. SPY is basically at break even at $687.08. QQQ barely over break even at 619.56. SPX is at break even at 6,897, y'all. And the NASDAQ 100 barely over break even at 25,470. So the market been red for the past 3 days. So can we finish the last day of the market, 2025, a green day? We need a green day, y'all. NVIDIA, we need y'all to push the market. We need y'all to push the ETFs, push SPY and the Qs to the green. NVIDIA, we need y'all. We need y'all. NVIDIA, the first company to ever hit $5 trillion, y'all. NVIDIA, the first company to ever hit $5 trillion. I don't think you understand how much money that is, y'all. I don't think you understand what 5 trillion means, y'all. So let me break it down to you right quick. This quick metaphor that I let people know if you don't understand how much $1 trillion is, y'all. Before I do that, let me show you. So I'm on the TradingView platform. This is my charting platform that I like to use. And it's definitely something that you should check out. They do have a free version of it. So if you don't want to pay any money, you just want to learn how to chart, you can definitely do that on TradingView. So what I have right now, I have 8 charts on my screen right now. I have the 8 most valuable companies in the world. On the top left, I have NVIDIA. And then going to the right, I have Apple. To the right, I have Google. To the right, I have Microsoft. And then you go down to the bottom layer. We have to the left, we have Amazon. To the right, we have Meta. To the right, we have AVGO. And to the right, we have Tesla. Okay, so I just wanted to let y'all know what you're seeing on the screen. And shout out to everybody on TikTok, man. This is $1 trillion tickers. You know what I mean? This is my show that I do every single morning. Even when the market is closed, I'm going to come on and I'm going to do some charting. So if you want to check me out on the weekends or if the market is closed, like tomorrow the market going to be closed for New Year's, but I'm going to still be doing some charting, y'all. We're going to chart these tickers. We're going to chart this money because that's what we do here, man. $1 trillion tickers, man. You heard? All right. So let me tell y'all. So when it comes to $1 trillion, y'all, I have to put it in perspective because that amount is so high, you don't even really understand what it is. Like, it's hard to comprehend. Like, it's hard to even fathom how much $1 trillion is. But let me try to explain it right quick. So if you take 60 seconds, right? That is seconds. So in order to get to 1 million seconds, the amount of time it takes is 11 days. So if you take time as compared to pennies, you know what I mean? 1 million seconds, right? It takes 11 days to get to 1 million seconds. Okay? So the difference between 1 million and 1 billion, to get to 1 billion, it takes 32 years. So when somebody tell you they have a net worth of $1 billion, you know what I mean? It in the form of seconds, it takes 32 years to get to 1 billion seconds, y'all. So I just want to let you know the difference between 1 million and 1 billion. 1 million seconds is 11 days, and 1 billion seconds is 32 years. So there's a big difference between a millionaire and a billionaire. Now, trillionaire. They say Elon Musk is going to be the first trillionaire, y'all. They say that. Even though Mansa Musa, back in the day, the king of Mali, he was the richest man on earth ever in history. We don't know if he hit $1 trillion or not, but he's been the richest man in before modern times. You know what I mean? So I just want to put that out there. We don't know if he hit $1 trillion or not, but they say Elon gonna hit $1 trillion. Okay, let me get back to the metaphor. So to get to 1 trillion seconds, y'all, 1 trillion seconds, how long does it take? So 1 million, it took 11 days, and 1 billion, it took 32 years. To get to 1 trillion seconds takes 32,000 years, y'all. 32,000 years, y'all. 32,000 years. So when I tell you NVIDIA is the first company to ever hit a $5 trillion market cap, just let that sit. NVIDIA is the first company to ever hit a $5 trillion market cap. So all the main companies that we cover on this show, this is the $1 trillion ticker show. So every company is at least worth $1 trillion, y'all. But we have companies that are worth 4 trillion, 3 trillion, 2 trillion, y'all. You know what I mean? This type of money is insane. It's like, how can I even comprehend this type of money, this type of market caps that these companies have? But they actually have them, y'all. And you can invest in them. It's like, you think I'm going to start a business and be able to create a business that's worth $1 trillion? Probably not. But what I can do, I can invest in those companies, and those companies can make me money while they make money. Make it easy. Make it easy. Yeah, maybe I can't create the next $1 trillion company. But what I can do, I can invest in these $1 trillion companies, and then when they make money, I'm making money too. And that's what I've been doing. We've been getting money out the market for a long time, y'all. We've been getting money out the market for a long time, y'all. Let me just let you know. I've been invested in the market. I'm not new to this. I've been invested in the market since 2017, y'all. Since 2017. I took my first course in 2017, and that's when I first got introduced to the stock market. And then in 2020, when everybody was locked down, even though I wasn't locked down, because I still worked the whole time. I didn't get laid off from my job. I didn't take the COVID shot. No, I didn't. And I'm not going to take it. I respect everybody that had to take it to keep their job, though. You know what I mean? But my job, luckily, you know what I mean? Thank God. You know what I mean? I was blessed to have a job that I could refuse the COVID shot. So that's what I did, y'all. I refused the COVID shot. And I worked through COVID completely. I didn't get no hazardous pay, as I should have. But I worked through COVID. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that got laid off and was making more money than they made in their job. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. You know what I mean? I wish, I don't wish, but shout out to y'all because y'all was making good bread that you never made before. But anyway, once COVID hit, I was just mad. I got introduced to these new stock market mentors of mine who I still got to this day. You know what I mean? The show that comes on YouTube every Monday on the Earn Your Leisure YouTube channel, it's called Market Mondays. And it's still going on right now. I've been watching it every week for the past 5 years, and it has changed my life mentally about, you know what I mean, how to think about the market and different strategies that I've used to make money. And then another show, the YouTube channel is called Wall Street Looks Like Us Now. And the host is Wall Street Trapper. So he had a show in 2020. It was on Wall Street Trapper YouTube channel. And then he took a break because he had some personal issues. And then he came back with the new channel, Wall Street Looks Like Us Now. And he has that show every Tuesday. It's called Trapping Tuesdays. So if you watch those two shows, then you will be set. You will get the knowledge that you need to better your investing career, and you'll be able to make a lot more money than you would have been able to make without those. Oh, also the host for Earn Your Leisure Market Mondays, Ian Dunlap, the Master Investor, Troy Millings, and Rashad Bilal for the Market Monday show. All right, so I just wanted to give y'all that quick rundown, on that. And that being said, let's check out the heat map, y'all. Let's see where money is going today on the last day of the market for 2025, y'all. Let's check it out. Ooh, I see a lot of red on this heat map, y'all. I see a lot of red on this heat map. So if you've never seen a heat map before, this is the S&P 500, the 500 biggest companies on the market. This is the heat map. So the bigger the square is on here, then that's the bigger the market cap of that company. And green means is running in the positive, and red means is running to the negative. The deeper the red, the more negative. The deeper the green, the more positive. As you can see, I only see what? NVIDIA is green right now. You know what I mean? And if it's gray, that means it's very close to break even. What is this? TDG. I don't even know what company that is, but it's a tech company because it's right here. These are the tech companies. You see all this red in here? Man, that's crazy. NVIDIA gonna have a tough time keeping the market to the upside if it's the only green company right now. What else we got is green right here? NVR. I don't know what company this is. It's not one of the main ones that I check out, but I just wanted to let y'all know, man, the market is looking super red right now and super gray. You know what I mean? Look at energy is red and gray. Healthcare, red and gray. You know what I mean? Come on, y'all. How we gonna end the day green if we got all this red in the market, y'all? All right, let's check out the ETFs, y'all. Let's check out the ETFs. Ooh, them ETFs, everything. Oh, my fault. Let's check out the sectors, y'all. Let's check out the sectors. Everything looking red. You see that? You see that? Everything looking red, y'all. XLK, our technology sector, is down almost 0.25% at 145.12, y'all. XLY, our consumer discretionary sector, is down, headed toward 0.25% at 120.19, y'all. XLC is down 0.25% at 118.01. XLC is our communication sector. Shout out to my TikTok people. If you want to be able to see my screen better, I'm actually streaming on YouTube right now. So if you want to be able to see my screen better, I know I don't normally, this is actually my first TikTok live, y'all. So, you know what I mean? I know I'm streaming on the phone and it's pointed toward my screen. But if you want to be able to see my screen, the whole screen directly, you can just go on my YouTube channel, Matt Rich's 510 AI Music. It's the same as my TikTok handle, and you can see the screen if you want to be able to see the screen fully. But if you like how the screen is being shown, shout out to you. You feel me? All right, let's get back to it. XLF, this is our financial sector ETF. It's down almost 0.25% right now at $55.06. XLV, this is our healthcare sector. It just turned red, y'all. It's a little bit red, a little under break even at 155.64. XLP, this is our consumer staples. As you can see, yesterday we were in the gap, but we have rejected the gap, y'all. So now we are under the gap, and it needs to go back up, y'all, to get it back into that gap to the upside. XLP is down, headed toward 0.25% at 78.05, y'all. XLE, this is our energy sector ETF. It's headed toward 0.25% to the downside at 44.88. And you can see it has a gap here to the downside, y'all. XLE. All right, XLU next. It's red as well. It's a little bit under break even at 42.94, y'all. But it's red too. Everything is red. All the sectors are red, y'all. All 11 sectors are red. So it's going to be a tough time for the market to be green if all the sectors are red, y'all. Are we going to end the day on a red note? I don't know. But it's been a great year anyway. If you've been invested in the market, if you're in the S&P, you know what I mean? You definitely up nice on the year, man. Way better than average. Way better than average. Close to double. So shout out to you. All right, XLI. This is industrials. You feel me? Industrials is down. Down on the day so far at 156.23. And XLRE, this is our real estate sector ETF, is down over 0.25% at $40.61. If you're just tuning in, I am your host, Matt Riches, and this is our show, $1 Trillion Tickers. This is my first time streaming on TikTok, but I stream on YouTube every single day. If you want to check me out on YouTube, check out some of the old shows. You can check me out. If the market is closed, I'm going to do a charting show. But if the market is open, I'm doing pre-market levels. I'm doing market open, and I'm doing breaking news, y'all. Breaking news, breaking news. All right, speaking of breaking news, let's get to the news, y'all. I haven't been doing a lot of news. I've been doing a lot of talking because I'm not used to streaming on TikTok, but I'm doing it anyway. So let's get to the news, y'all. So this came out on Benzinga. It says, many people quietly wonder how they stack up financially, especially when headlines focus on extremes like millionaires or deep financial stress. Recent data suggests the bar for being the head of the pack is lower than you might think, meaning one basic money benchmark already puts you above roughly half of U.S. households. Emergency savings is one of the clearest markers. About 55% of Americans now have enough saved to cover 3 months of expenses, according to Federal Reserve data. That means having a modest cushion places you ahead of a large portion of the population. In a paycheck-to-paycheck economy, liquidity matters more than lifestyle. Saving balances tell a similar story. Median savings sit around $3,400 for Gen Z, $9,000 for millennials, $9,600 for Gen X, and roughly $11,000 for boomers, y'all. If your savings are close to or above your generation's median, you are already outperforming about half of your peers, y'all. You're outperforming half of your peers. So salute to you if you have that balance. Zero balance is more common than many admit. Spending behavior is another dividing line. A recent Financial Health Pulse report found only 49% of Americans spent less than they earned last year. Simply living within your means now qualifies you above average financially, y'all. That says more about systemic pressure than personal failure. At the same time, the broader picture remains uneven. Only about 30% of households qualify as financially healthy when debt, savings, and income stability are all considered. Pre-retirees remain anxious as well, with more than half worried about outliving their savings despite strong markets. The takeaway is clarity, not complacency. If you have any cushion, positive cash flow, or steady savings, you're already doing better than most. So, yeah, man, shout out to y'all that's doing better than most, you know what I mean, by meeting that criteria. Okay? While I'm reading the news, let me go back to these charts so you can see the 8 most valuable companies in the world. You know what I mean? So I'm not just showing you one while I'm reading this news. All right, this next piece of news comes from Earn Your Leisure. That's who I was telling y'all about earlier, y'all. They have the show called Market Mondays. You know what I mean? Where you can learn about the stock market for free, y'all. Just like this show. Just like this live stream, y'all, is free. They have a stock market show that I watch every single week that I've been watching faithfully for the past 5 years. And I learned so much. And I basically have 5x my net worth in the past 5 years by learning how to invest in the stock market, y'all. So let me get to it. Okay, Earn Your Leisure. They put out this on Twitter. It says the average home buyer now needs 7 years to save for a down payment, y'all. 7 years. As the typical required amount more than doubled from $13,900 in 2019 to $30,400 in 2025, y'all. $30,400 in 2025, y'all. With the national personal savings rate at 5%, many households face greater difficulty setting aside the funds. Damn, that's a lot of money. Damn, that's a lot of money. 30,000? I need 30,000 for a down payment for a house? Man, there's some people that's not even making 30,000 a year, y'all. If I'm not making 30,000 a year, how could I save up 30,000? Man, damn. Whew. That is a long time. 7 years? And right now, the rates is too high anyway. Because remember the COVID rates? COVID rates was so low. The rates have more than doubled since then. So if you was looking to buy a house during COVID and you didn't, and you looking at the same house, not only did the value of the house go up, but the interest rates more than doubled. So you're like, man, I'm not buying that shit right now. Because I remember when the rates was lower. How you expect me to pay double the interest rates for the same house that I was looking at before the rates doubled? I'm not buying that shit right now. I'm going to wait for a housing market crash. And then I'm going to buy one. Shit, I might buy two. You heard? And you should do the same. Don't buy it right now. These interest rates is way too high. Just wait, y'all. I'm telling you. All right, this next piece of news comes from Goldman Sachs, y'all. Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs, top themes and names for 2026, y'all. So they saying, check out. All right. I don't want to. Okay. Goldman Sachs. So if you look on my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see, because I do have a little box underneath right here, underneath my tickers. I have the box for my Twitter news that I'm actually reading, y'all. So if you want to get a better view of the news, you'll have to look on my YouTube channel. But shout out to everybody on TikTok. You know what I mean? That's tuning in for the first time. This is my first TikTok live stream. So, you know what I mean? If something going wrong, you know what I mean? I apologize and I'm going to fix it. But it's my first one. So, you know what I mean? Let me ride. All right. Goldman Sachs, top themes and names for 2026. Middle income rebound. So retail did horribly in 2025, but Goldman Sachs said we may have a rebound in some of these consumer discretionary names like TJ Maxx, Nike, Ultra Beauty, Starbucks, Kava. Also travel and leisure like Caribbean Cruise. You know what I mean? The highest conviction commodities is going to be gold and copper. So if you want to invest in commodities, say, hey, you want to diversify your portfolio. You don't want to have only stocks and ETFs. You want to have some commodities. Well, gold is trading at a very, very close to the all-time high right now. But Goldman Sachs says it's one of its highest conviction commodities, so they expect it to continue to run. I don't like buying stuff at the all-time high. I would definitely need to wait for a pullback, at least like 10% off the all-time high. But I'm just saying what Goldman Sachs said they looking at for 2026. Okay, so they call this the catch-up trades, right? So this is the cyclical and industrial names that they're looking at. STLD, which is in the materials and steel category. CMC, NUE. Okay, and then they got some names for industrials and logistics. That's going to be NSC. It's going to be CSX, UNP. And then tech and hardware, they're looking at ADI and MCHP. ADI sounds familiar. I think on the last charting show, when I was charting the QQQ, we charted ADI. I definitely remember that. So if you want to check out my charting show from last Sunday, we definitely charted ADI. Okay? And then the last quadrant from this Goldman Sachs top names and themes for 2026 is going to be the AI and tech enablers. So for semiconductors, they have Micron Technology, which is MU. And then for software and cloud, they have Salesforce, which is CRM, and Adobe at ADBE. We also charted Adobe on the same show that we charted ADI. And then for hardware and auto, they have Tesla, y'all. Tesla. And then for the hyperscalers, we got Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Oracle, y'all. Ooh, I love it. I'm a big tech bull. If you didn't know, I'm a big tech bull, y'all. My portfolio is mostly technology stocks. Not only technology, but the hyperscalers, y'all. The biggest, most valuable companies in the world. If you want to know where my personal portfolio is at, I am in most of these technology companies that we have for my show. $1 trillion tickers, y'all. NVIDIA, I'm invested. Apple, I'm invested. Google, I'm invested. Microsoft, I'm invested. Amazon, I'm invested. Tesla, I'm invested, y'all. I'm invested in all these companies, so I'm not just talking. I'm not just charting these companies just to do it. I'm charting these companies because these are the companies that I'm also invested in. The only $1 trillion companies that I'm not invested in is Meta, AVGO, TSM, and Berkshire.B. You know what I mean? But I'm invested in the top 5. You know what I mean? And my portfolio is doing great. So if you want to know what companies to invest in, if you don't know where to start, let's do a little break, a little commercial break. Well, it's not a real break because this is actually, I created this. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody on TikTok. I'm showing y'all this right now for the first time. Well, it's not the first time. If you follow me, you've seen me create ads, you know what I mean, using Grok Imagine to show you what I created for y'all. So this is for beginning investors, y'all. I created these flashcards. So if you can see on the chart on the screen right here, it's called Investing Flashcards, Stock Market Basics, Beginner Flashcards for New Investors. So I have a bunch of different decks here. So the first one is Stock Market Basics Q&A. What is a stock market? Hit flip, it'll give you the answer, and it'll give you an example. I have 10 cards in this first deck. You hit next. What is a stock? Hit flip, it'll give you the answer, and it'll give you an example. So I had 10 questions here. Then you could go to Q&A number 2. 10 more questions. What is a brokerage account? Hit flip, it'll give you the answer, and it'll give you examples. What's the next question? How much money do I need to start investing? Hit flip, it'll give you the answer, and it'll give you examples. What I also created was the ABCs of investing. So these first decks, the series 1 through 5, they only have 5 cards on each. You know what I mean? What is an unrealized loss or an unrealized gain? You hit flip, it'll give you the definition, and it'll give you an example. So those only have 5 each. So if you have ADD or you just have some issue retaining information and you don't want to go through all 26 letters of the alphabet, you know what I mean? You could go through 5 at a time, A through E, then F through J, and then have the full deck. If you're ready to learn, you inspired, you motivated, you ready to go, you dedicated and disciplined, you know what I mean? You could go to the full master deck, A through Z. A, what is an asset? Hit flip, it'll give you the answer, and it'll give you some examples. If you want to go backward, what is zero commission trading? For Z, you know what I mean? It'll give you the definition, and then it'll give you an example, y'all. So these are free. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to put it in the chat for YouTube, y'all. So if you follow me on TikTok right now and you're watching this, I'm also streaming on YouTube live, and I just put it in the comments, y'all. I really can't put it on TikTok right now. My apologies, but it is in my TikTok bio. The same cards, the same link. So all you got to do is go on there. I just put it in the chat, y'all. I just put it in the chat for the YouTube live stream right now. All right, so back to the market. Let's go. All right, let's check out our $1 trillion tickers and let's see where we're at right now. NVIDIA. Let me take a sip of this good coffee, man, before it get cold. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me take a sip. All right, thank you. All right, NVIDIA. Is NVIDIA... Okay, we do got some other ones that's green. I was about to say, is NVIDIA the only one that's green right now? It's definitely pulled back from where it was. Because remember, when market opened, we was at 190. NVIDIA done pulled back, but it's still up over 50%. Right now, NVIDIA is at 188.70. Apple is barely under break even at 273.05. Google barely under break even at Google barely under break even at 313.60. Microsoft is down over 0.25% at 486.07. Amazon is down 0.25% at 231.94. Meta is down over 0.5% at 661.95. AVGO is down over 1% at 346.20. Tesla barely over break even at 454.63. TSM is up over 2%. Ooh, TSM, let's go. TSM up over 2%, y'all. TSM is running up over 2%, y'all, at 306.14. Berkshire.B is up almost 0.5% at 505.70. The VIX is up over 2% at 1465. SPY is down headed toward 0.25% at 685, y'all. QQQ is down 0.25% at 617.90. SPX is down headed toward 0.25% at 6,883, and the NASDAQ 100 is down over 0.25% at 25,387, y'all. Okay, let's check out some of these other companies that I like to check out during the show. Okay, AMD. AMD is up, headed toward 0.25% at 215.62, y'all. Bitcoin is still under 90,000. Bitcoin is at 88,249, y'all. IBIT is BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, y'all. So if you want to invest in Bitcoin, but you don't want to get a cold wallet and you don't trust a hot wallet, what you can do, you can let BlackRock take all the risk. They're buying all the Bitcoin, and then they just allow you to buy their ETF, which I am invested in. So this is my diversification into crypto. I do own this asset, this IBIT ETF. I personally own it. Yes, I do. I do not want to buy a cold wallet. I do not want to buy a hot wallet. I know a couple millionaires that have had their Bitcoin stolen off of their cold wallets. So I don't want to be like them. So I'm going to take the safe route and just invest in IBIT, y'all. So if you want to do the same thing, you could just invest in IBIT, y'all. All right. Ethereum is still under 3,000. Ethereum is at 2,986, y'all. Is up 0.5%. BMNR has been getting clapped, y'all. BMNR is down more than 0.25% at $27.62. Palantir is down over 0.25% at $180.25. HUD is down almost 1%, y'all. HUD is down to $114.45. Grab is down almost 0.25% at $502. And XLG is down a little under break even at 59.59, y'all. All right. Let's get back to the news. Okay, we was talking about Google, right? All right, so let me put Google on the screen while I tell you this Google news. So shout out to everybody on TikTok, man, that's tuned in, checking out the show. This is my first time streaming on TikTok, and man, we rocking out. All right, so this next piece of news is about Google. So Google currently owns $80 billion worth of Waymo. You know Waymo, those autonomous cars that be driving around certain cities. They've been driving around San Francisco for a long time. I'm sure you heard that headline news when they had that power outage in San Francisco, and then all the Waymos wouldn't work. They all got stuck in the middle of the street. I'm sure you heard about that. Well, Google is the company that owns, Waymo is under the Google umbrella. Google also owns $56 billion worth of SpaceX, y'all. $56 billion worth of SpaceX. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. That's my music. I do have a playlist. Let me restart my playlist because that last song, I did not make the music. I do make music. As you know, my handle is Matt Richards AI Music. Matt Richards 510 AI Music. All the music that you've been hearing in the background, I created with Suno, the best AI music creation platform. I love it. I've made hundreds of songs, at least 200 songs. But that last song you heard, as you can see, I got all instrumentals for the show. But anyway, they keep on signing me out on my iPad. So I had to go to Suno on the webpage instead of the app. That's why it played that song. Because that's not even on my playlist. Maybe I got to turn off autoplay. That's my fault. Next time I'm going to turn off autoplay. But yeah. All right, back to Google. So Google owns $26 billion worth of Anthropic, which is a private company, as well as SpaceX. I think all these are private companies, actually. Okay. Google owns $780 million worth of AST Space Mobile. Google owns $600 million worth of Planet Labs. Google owns $400 million worth of Apptronics. Google, a big dog, hyperscaler, AI leader. You know, Warren Buffett just put like $5 million into Google, right? $5 billion into Google, y'all. You know, Buffett is known as the greatest investor of all time. So and he doesn't normally invest in stock market companies outside of Apple. So for him to invest in Google, that gotta let you know that he's done his research and he really believes in Google. And you should invest in Google too. You should wait for a pullback. Don't buy it at all-time highs, but I'm definitely invested in Google, and we're doing quite well. Thank you. All right, Tesla. This tweet is from Tesla on Twitter. First is from Elon. Tesla Model Y is now officially the world's best-selling car 3 years in a row, y'all. 3 years in a row, y'all. Tesla Model Y is officially the world's best-selling car 3 years in a row, y'all. And it's electric. You know, all the Tesla cars are electric. But what I'm saying is, this electric car is selling better than gas cars. And there's way more gas cars on the road than electric cars. But Tesla number one, y'all. You should be investing in Tesla if you believe in EVs, if you believe in autonomous vehicles, if you believe in robotics. You should be. Tesla stock is very volatile, y'all. Very volatile. So don't make it the biggest position in your portfolio unless you are prepared to handle volatility. Oh, excuse me. I had to take another drink of that coffee, man, before it get cold. You know what I mean? I've been talking so much. You know what I mean? Been talking so much, we letting the coffee get cold. All right. There's another piece of news on Twitter that came out. Tesla confirmed it has made its 9 millionth car, y'all. 9 millionth car, y'all. Tesla has made its 9 millionth car, y'all. Let's go. Hey, I just seen on TikTok, it says this is a popular live. Hey, let's go. This is actually my first live stream on TikTok. And for it to just come on the screen saying popular live, shout out to TikTok, man. This is my first time going live on here. I haven't done that before. I don't really know how to work it at all, but shout out, man. Shout out to everybody on TikTok. This is my show, $1 Trillion Tickers, that I stream every day on YouTube, and I'm going to start streaming every day on TikTok. I really don't know how to use the TikTok live. Shout out to everybody that put something in the chat. I haven't been able to look at it because I got to look at my screen on my laptop. And I got to read the news and all this stuff. So I really can't look at the TikTok screen, but I just wanted to do that because I know TikTok is a wonderful platform and it has a lot of users on there, and hopefully it has a lot of people that want to learn about the stock market, because that's what my live show is about. You know what I mean? It's called $1 Trillion Tickers. We track the $1 Trillion tickers in the market. Every company that has a market cap over $1 trillion, those are the main companies that we track on my show. All right, let's get back to the news, y'all. All right, this next piece of news comes from Unusual Wells on Twitter. It says, Gen Z has cut down their effort at work because they don't think it's worth it if they can't afford long-term financial goals. What? Why is Gen Z doing that, y'all? Why is Gen Z tripping, y'all? Why is Gen Z tripping? I think the thing is, Gen Z, y'all gotta realize that it take time to get rich, y'all. It take time to get rich. It take time. If it didn't take no time to get rich, if getting rich was easy, if everybody could do it, everybody would do it. But everybody can't do it, y'all. Everybody can't do it because they don't got the discipline. They don't got the patience. You know what I mean? They don't got the motivation. Gen Z, y'all is tripping, y'all. You think you're going to be rich in your 20s? It's very unlikely. You not. The only way to get rich in your 20s is if you go to the league. You know what I mean? So you got to be one of the best athletes in your age group. You know what I mean? You got to go to a college that, you know what I mean, that is not tripping on certain things. You know what I mean? And you got to be able to walk that line of college, and then you got to make it to the league. Okay, it is a lot of people that's getting NIL deals, so they're able to make money in college before they get to the league. But that's still a very, very small group. Very, very small group, y'all. So don't even, most likely, it's a very low percentage of people who actually get rich in their 20s. The average person that becomes a millionaire at 55, y'all. At 55. So Gen Z, you got plenty of time. What you need to do is stay focused, put your money into the market, start you a business, get you some real estate. So you like, okay, man, how am I gonna buy a house, man? I can't afford it. Remember that other piece of news that you read? It take up to $30,000. It takes 7 years to save up for that. Okay, what that means? 7 years. It takes patience, y'all. You gotta have patience. That's what that means. You gotta be saving for 7 years. You gotta put money in the market. Let the market make money for you for that 7 years. Why don't you put money in the market for 7 years? Let the market give you some profits and then take the money out and then buy your house. Okay, so you can't buy the house in your 20s. That's fine. Don't even worry about it. What they say, the average new first-time home buyer is 40 years old. 40. So Gen Z, you ain't buying no house? Don't even worry about it. What you need to do is put money in the market. That's what you need to do. Is put money in the market. The market is where you make money. The market is where everybody has their money. Everybody's retirement funds, pension funds. You know what I mean? All the richest people in the world, all their money is tied to the stock market. All their money is tied to investments that they have. And most likely, it's an investment in the company that they founded or the company that they are the CEO of. They have millions of shares. So if you want to be like them, maybe you're not going to start out buying millions of shares, but you're going to start out buying 1 share at a time, buying 5 shares at a time. You know what I mean? And you're going to do it over time. You're going to accumulate shares over time. You try to get to your first 5 shares. Just say you got 4 different positions in your portfolio. Just say you got one ETF and then you got $3 trillion tickers. Say that's your portfolio. You know what I mean? Or you got 2 ETFs and you got $2 trillion tickers. That could be your portfolio. If you don't know what to do, that's all you got to do, y'all. That's all you got to do for your portfolio. 2 ETFs, $2 trillion tickers. Or 1 ETF, $3 trillion tickers, y'all. So it just depends. There's a lot of different strategies you can do. I definitely want you to do at least the minimum. You got to have 1 ETF, y'all. And that ETF should be the S&P 500. And let me show you what that is. SPYM, y'all. SPYM. This is the S&P 500, y'all. I'm gonna put it on a daily chart for y'all. Okay. So I haven't looked at this on a daily for a long time. So let me move that all-time high up here, y'all. So the all-time high. So this is not the regular S&P 500. This is the mini version of the S&P 500. So the regular version of the S&P 500 is SPY right here. This is the main one, y'all. This is the main one. But as you can see, the price is $685, y'all. Oh, you like, damn, $685 for one share? I can't afford that, man. Come on, give me something else, bro. I'm like, I got you, bro. I got you. So this is the main one. This is the most traded stock every single day when the market is open. This is it right here, SPY. So you like, man, I want to invest in the SPY because it's the S&P 500. And man, I got this graphic. I don't have it right now, but I seen this graphic that showed the past 50 years, y'all. The past 50 years, it showed that. And it was like, man, it showed the returns every single year for the S&P 500. And let me tell you, let me pull it up. On my phone. Oh, where's my? Oh, I'm using my phone to live stream, so I can't look it up right now. How can I look it up? Let me see. Let me see if I can look at it on my iPad, y'all. But I really want to show y'all this because this is really important, y'all. This is really important because the type of money that you can make from the S&P 500 is more than you're going to make anywhere else, y'all. You know what I mean? As far as long-term buy and hold, this is it right here. All right, let me pull it up. Okay, here we go. 50 years of returns, y'all, for the S&P 500. So in the past 50 years, y'all, 50 years ago, we going back. Excuse me. We going back 50 years, y'all. The S&P 500. It's been up 38 positive years in the past 50 years. 38 positive years, 11 negative years. So out of 50 years, 38 was positive and 11 was negative, with an average of $11. An average of 11% to the positive, y'all. Damn, my battery is low. I can't charge it because where my phone is at right now. All right, so we're just going to stream till the battery run out, y'all. Hopefully, I'll be able to finish this live before my battery run out. So that just let me know next time how much battery is needed when I'm streaming on TikTok. Shout out to everybody on TikTok, y'all. This is my first time streaming on TikTok. You know what I mean? This is my show that I normally do every single day on YouTube. It's called $1 Trillion Tickers, y'all. It's called $1 Trillion Tickers. And my same handle, if you go on YouTube, Matt Richards 510 AI Music, you can be able to check it out. And this is where I normally stream, but I'm going to just start streaming on YouTube. I'm going to just start streaming on TikTok right now because why not? TikTok is a great platform to stream on. And they pay more than all the other platforms. So why wouldn't I get on here? I got to get on here. I've been trying to get on here for a long time, but it wouldn't let me. But now that it does, we on. Let's get it. All right, back to the S&P 500 over the past 50 years, y'all. I'm telling you, it's so much green on here. Let me show you. Oh, yeah, let me just show you like this, y'all. 50 years of the S&P 500 returns. You see how much green that is, y'all? You see how often it's red? You know what I mean? So basically, 2 out of every 10 years is red, y'all. And then in the middle decade, it was 3 red years. That was the dot-com bust, the dot-com bubble. But check it out, y'all. 2 out of every 10 years is red. So if you invest, and look, y'all, if you invest Look how much green it is after the red year. Look how much green it is, y'all. So let's go back. The most recent red year, 2022, it was down 19%. But then what happened in 23? It was up 24%. 24 up 23%. 25 is up double digits, y'all. We gonna see when the market closes. You know what I mean? What percentage 2025 is gonna be. But let's go before that. When was the last red year before that? 2018, y'all. It was down 6%. What happened after that? Up 28%. What happened after that? 2020, up 16%. 2021, up 26%. Y'all, come on now. Come on now. Out of every 10 years, you get 2 red years, y'all. You know what I mean? So what that mean? What that mean? That mean you got to invest during the red years, y'all. Invest during the red years. And that's how you run that bag up in the stock market. Don't be scared. The market 100% of the time has went back to all-time highs after every single crash, every single recession, every single trade war, every single piece of global instability. The market has always ran back up to all-time highs, y'all. So that's why you should... Hold on, bro. What you mean my live will end in 5 minutes? We have detected inactivity. Nigga, I got plenty of activity going on. What you mean, bro? What you mean, bro? Hold on, y'all. On TikTok, they talking about inactivity. And I gotta do this? Fuck. Oh, excuse me, y'all. It's making me put this puzzle piece in, talking about inactivity. Probably because I'm not typing nothing, but I am talking. They can't hear my audio? Shoot, why they can't hear my audio, bro? Talking about I'm not doing nothing. Excuse me, TikTokers, for not paying attention to the chat, but I can't because I'm reading news. I'm looking at charts. You know what I mean? So I can't, but I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You feel me? Oh, let me get back to it. So that's SPY, right? I gave you 50 years of data on SPY, right? So all you got to do is check out SPYM. You get the same exact companies, y'all. The same exact companies. You know what I mean? Look, right here. State Street. That's the same one as SPY, State Street, S&P 500. But this is the mini version of it. It gives you the same exact gains and losses. You know what I mean? This is the mini version of it. So you can just invest in this one. Look, it's $80 a share right now. $80 a share. You got $80. You got $80. You got $80, bro. You got $80, sister. You got it. You got it. You about to get that tax return. You about to get that tax return in the first quarter, right? You about to get that tax return in the first quarter, right? What you need to do is put some of that money into the market and let it grow for you. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, how you going to beat inflation? It's not with no checking account. It's not with no savings account. It got to at least be a high yield savings account. It got to at least be that. You know what I mean? But how you really going to beat how you really going to beat inflation is in the stock market. That's the only way to beat it, y'all. All right, let me get back to the news, y'all. Oh, let me run these companies right quick. $1 trillion tickers, y'all. $1 trillion tickers. Welcome to the show. New people, welcome to the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What we do? We run that bag up. That's the wrong button, man. This is a brand new sound effects thing. Where's my money at? There we go. But not the one on YouTube sound better. Oh, you can't really. I don't know if you can hear it here. But anyway, shout out to everybody tuning in. $1 trillion tickets, man. This is the show, man. We live on TikTok right now. Let's go. All right, let me run these numbers right quick. So NVIDIA live. NVIDIA is up. Let me put on each particular company that we go over. Okay. $1 trillion tickers, y'all. $1 trillion tickers. NVIDIA is up over 0.5%. Oh, let me go to the 1 minute chart so y'all can see the movement for today. There we go. All right, NVIDIA's up over 0.5% at 188.72. Apple's down almost 0.25% at 272.46. Google is barely over break even at 313.91. Microsoft is down almost 0.5% at 485.50. Amazon is down over 0.25% at 231.88. Meta is down almost 0.5% at 663.12. AVGO is down almost 1% at 346.77. Tesla is down almost 0.25% at 453.82. TSM is up over 2%, y'all. TSM is up over 2%, y'all. It's at 306.13. Berkshire.B is up over 0.25% at 505.05, y'all. The VIX is up over 2.5% at 1473. The SPY is down 0.25% at 685. QQQ is down 0.25% at 617. SPX is down 0.25% at 6,887. And the NASDAQ 100 is down 0.25% at 25,371, y'all. Let me take a sip of this coffee, y'all. Damn, that coffee cold, y'all. That coffee cold, y'all. I was supposed to drink it when it was hot, man, but I was talking so much that I couldn't do it. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Back to the news, y'all. Shout out to everybody on TikTok, man. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, man. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, man, tuning in for the live show, man. Salute to y'all. You feel me? You know what I mean? I've been streaming on YouTube every single day this week, every single day last week. The only day I took off was on Christmas. Every single day the week before that. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, y'all. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, y'all. You know what I mean? All my YouTube supporters, man. All my YouTube people that tuning into the show, $1 trillion tickers, y'all. We out here, man. TikTok. Shout out to everybody on TikTok. It's my first TikTok live stream. All right, let's get back to it, y'all. Back to the news. All right, while I'm talking about the news, I'm going to put these 8 charts on the screen for y'all. Starting at the top left-hand corner, we have NVIDIA, then Apple, Google, Microsoft. Then the bottom row to the left side, Amazon, Meta, AVGO, Tesla. All right, let's go, y'all. Let's go back to the news. So, oh man, so this is kind of crazy news right here, right? This is on Unusual Whales. So it says the U.S. has surpassed 2,000 measles cases for the first time in more than 30 years, y'all. 2,000 measles cases, y'all. That is scary. That is scary. Let me see if we can find the major geographic location that is at. Let me see. Let's see. This is more than 7-fold from last year. No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say what city. It just gives me some data. They try to say why it's happening, because declining MMR vaccination coverage among kindergartners. Well, if y'all wasn't giving so many kids autism with your vaccines, then you probably wouldn't have these declining vaccine numbers. Now, would you? It's ridiculous. And I don't like it. All right. So, man, you might need to wear your mask outside today. You might need to wear your gloves because the measles is running rampant, y'all. That's scary, y'all. All right, let's check out Trump, man. Trump has something to say. You know, Trump always got some comic relief. Let's get into it.
On housing, you talked in your address last night about housing. Yeah. Are you still considering a national emergency over housing?
I'm looking at it.
What would that look like? What would that mobilize?
You know, there's two thoughts on housing. You know, a lot of people
it's
have
kind of low,
housing that because we have such a strong time and such a strong market there, houses are very valuable. It's a big part of their net worth, their house. I don't want to knock those numbers down because I want them to continue to have a big value for the house. At the same time, I want to make it possible for young people out there.
Bro, I see your co-host invite, but this is my first time streaming. I can't do it. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, definitely check back in when I learn how to do this more, and then maybe we can do it. I gotta check out your page. Yeah, I mean, we gotta chop it up, but I can't let you
to the
co-host right
houses they
now,
never
bro.
thought possible, that have sort of made them wealthy and happy, and especially in their later years. Got to be careful with that. I want to keep them up. At the same time, I want to make it possible for people to go buy houses.
All right, shout out Trump, man. He didn't have no comic relief in that particular clip. He usually does. But yeah, let me get back to the news, y'all. Okay. All right, let me get back to my Twitter news. Sometimes it's news, sometimes it's just people that I like to read their posts because they dropping good knowledge or some motivation, you know what I mean, or some, you know what I mean, some what I want to hear. So this is from Investing Bay on Twitter. She says, "My family was shook when I quit my job to trade full time. Now we're coming up on year 6. Blessed." So she quit her job 6 years ago to trade full time, and she hasn't had to go back. She's still trading full time, and she is rich, y'all. I've been following her for a long time. She is making money all the time in trading. Basically, she has mastered trading. So to the point where she doesn't need her full-time job anymore. So you've mastered trading if you did not go back to work. Like, that's one of my goals. I haven't reached that goal yet, y'all. I'm going to keep it 100. That is my goal, to just live off my investments and my trading. But I haven't made it there yet. But one day I will. You know what I mean? And shout out to her for letting me know that it's really possible. You feel me? Okay, next piece of news is from UBS. So UBS, top investment themes and stock picks for 2026, y'all. AI innovation. So they have these different sections here on the graphic. You can see the graphic on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Okay, AI innovation. Beyond chip makers, intelligence layer, software, platforms, and adopters. Amazon, ANET, which is Arista Networks, Cisco, CSCO, Snowflake, which is Snow is the ticker, and Texas Instruments, TXN. And then they have power and resources. So this is massive energy demand from AI data centers, focus on utilities, storage, grid infrastructure. Next Era Energy, NEE, Dominion Energy, D, Eaton Company, ETN, Quanta Services, PWR, and First Solar, FSLR. And longevity, y'all, healthcare, which is going to be United Health Group, UNH, Eli Lilly, LLY, Novo Nordisk, NVO, Acadia Pharmaceuticals, ACAD, and Danaher, DHR. All right, I'm not going to read the rest of the graphic because I actually been on this stream for a lot longer than I thought I was. But I got a lot more news that I'm trying to hit before my phone battery dies. So shout out to everybody on YouTube, man. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on TikTok, man. This is my first live stream on TikTok, y'all. And we cooking up, man. It still say popular live. I really can't believe that. You know what I mean? Maybe that's not even for me. I don't know. But shout out to TikTok, man. I can't read the comments right now because I got to read my screen. I got to read the news. I got to look at the charts. So shout out to everybody on TikTok, man, that's learning this game. You know what I mean? The stock market game. The show is called $1 Trillion Tickers, y'all. And we get money with these $1 trillion companies for show. All right, this next piece of news comes from NVIDIA. This next piece of news comes from Unusual Whales on Twitter. It's from Amazon. Amazon CEO says replacing young employees with AI is one of the dumbest ideas and bad for business. At some point, the whole thing explodes on itself. What? Yeah, bro, I don't believe that. I can't believe he actually said that. Because they got so many robots working in their factories. They got so many robots in the warehouse. They got some, bruh. Amazon has employed over $1 million in robots. Straight up. right now. Who you think job they took? They talking about young people. They talking about, bruh. How is he gonna say that when they got 1 million robots on payroll right now? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous for him to say that. It's completely ridiculous. It don't make no sense. They got 1 million robots on payroll. You know what I mean? Come on now, y'all. Come on now, y'all. What they talking about? What they talking about, y'all? Okay, so even though I am invested in Amazon and we finna run a bag up with Amazon next year, Amazon ain't been doing nothing this year, man, as far as the stock price. Amazon ain't been doing nothing. But you know what it's gonna do next year? You know, when a $1 trillion company consolidate, you know what I mean, for a whole year? Woo, that's a lot of consolidation. That's a lot of consolidation. That thing, when that thing take off to the upside, woo, we finna run that bag up. We finna run that bag up. We finna run that bag up. Let's go. Okay, this next piece of news on Twitter is from ASML. Check it out, y'all. Where's my volume? Where's my volume at? What the heck, man? I can't hear. I don't know what's up with this. Oh, man, this was a good one too, man. What the heck? I guess I let it go too many times. Come on, ASML. Nope. All right. Well, this ASML clip is not working. So next. All right. So this next piece of news on Twitter talks about the world's largest asset management firms, y'all. Number one, they have $10 trillion under management is BlackRock. Number two, $9 trillion under management is Vanguard. Number three, Fidelity. $5 trillion under management, y'all. And number four, State Street Global Advisors. $4 trillion under management, y'all. Next, Morgan Stanley. $3 trillion under management, y'all. And also, JP Morgan Chase, $3 trillion under management. So a good way to know, is your company good to invest in? A good way to know is, are the largest investment management firms invested in that company? Because if they're not, it's not a safe bet yet. So if you want to know, is your company that you're invested in a safe bet? Go look and see which institutions are the largest investors in it. And if it's not BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, then it's not a safe bet yet. Not saying that it won't be in the future, but right now, no. Because if it was, then the largest asset management firms, they will be invested in them. So if you look at these $1 trillion companies and you see which asset management firms are invested in those, you're going to see these big dogs. These are the biggest ones in the world, y'all. So if you want to know, is your company good to invest in? Check out and see which firms are invested in those. Okay, so this is from Aristotle Investments on Twitter. So Aristotle is 29 years old. He's worth between 20 and 50 million. You know what I mean? He stopped giving us updates after he hit 20 million. He just went straight to 50. So we don't know exactly, but he's a super multi-millionaire. Salute to that brother, because he give free game every single day. You know what I mean? On Twitter, every single Sunday on YouTube. You know what I mean? I've been listening to him for a long time, and man, he be calling some home runs. Man, he's so dope. He's so dope. He's one of my favorite people to follow outside of Wall Street Trapper and Earn Your Leisure, y'all. Aristotle Investments. So this is what he said on Twitter. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to have 4 trading accounts. 1 for leaps, the easiest large money you can ever make. Wait for a crash in the market and buy leap options and print money. Buy the best companies in the world and print money, y'all. The next account is swing trading. This is for spotty cash flow. Take the best setup you can find and swing, y'all. Swing that thing. Oh, my battery on 10%, y'all. I'm gonna just let it go until the battery dies on my phone. And next time I will definitely have 100% when it's time. But shout out to everybody on TikTok. I am streaming live on YouTube right now. So if my phone dies, you could come to YouTube. It's the same handle, Matt Richards 510 AI Music, if you want to get the end of the show. Okay? All right. So the next one is a day trading account. Account number 3, a day trading account. This is for cash flow. This is where you make small amounts of money over time, y'all. And then a long-term, the fourth one, a long-term buy and hold, where you just buy the best companies in the world. And this is for generational wealth. He said in quotations, right next to generational wealth, he said, never sell. Buy the best of the best companies and ETFs, especially during a market crash. This should be the majority of your money, between 60 and 70%. He said, combine all of these every year and you'll make bank in the stock market. No other entity provides this type of range. He said he specializes in all 4. He also has a free Discord if you want to check it out, man. Shout out Aristotle, man. He bought an $8 million mansion in Puerto Rico, y'all. Paid for by the stock market, by his businesses. You know what I mean? Shout out to Aristotle, man. Definitely somebody I look up to in this investing game, y'all. Okay, this is Warren Buffett on Twitter, y'all. Let's play the clip. Oh, that's why my
Statements.
That's why my audio wasn't working. All right, let me go back to this ASML. I just found out why the audio wasn't working. All right, it should work now, y'all. Excuse my technical difficulties. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all for tuning in today. So this is from ASML on Twitter.
Inside every modern laptop, smartphone, desktop computer, advanced AI server, or practically any other high-tech device are cutting-edge microchips such as the CPU, GPU, SoC, DRAM, and SSD chips, each with tens of billions of transistors inside of them. The transistors inside these microchips are incredibly small, with the tiniest features measuring around 10 nanometers or 45 silicon atoms.
That's from ASML, y'all. They're part of the microchip game, too. So definitely look them up. ASML is the ticker symbol. All right, so this is from Buffett, from, I believe, this year's investor meeting that he has once a year. Buffett, today's the last day. Buffett is going to be CEO of Berkshire, y'all. He's stepping down. After 60 years, y'all, he's stepping down. He's stepping down. Can you believe it? The greatest investor of all time. He's stepping down, y'all. And this is a quote from him that I found on Twitter, y'all.
That's one thing we've really never talked about here, but I spend more time looking at balance sheets than I do income statements. And Wall Street really doesn't pay much attention to balance sheets, but I like to look at balance sheets over an 8 or 10 year period before I even look at the income account. Because there's certain things that's harder to hide or play games with on the balance sheet than you can with the income statement. And yeah, I mean, neither one gives you the total answer on anything, but you still ought to understand what the figures are saying and what they don't say and what they can't say and what the management would like them to say that the auditors wouldn't like them to say. And I mean, there's just a lot to be learned, and you do learn more. You learn more from balance sheets, in my view, than most people give them credit for.
Shout out to the balance sheets, man. If you want to learn some of that fundamental investing, man, you got to check out them balance sheets, y'all. For real. So this is a Berkshire.B 12-month chart. So each candle is 1 year. Look at this, man. This is a wonderful investment. Look, since 2016, Berkshire.B has been green every single year. This is 9 years straight of green, y'all. This is 9 years straight. This is better than the S&P 500. 9 years straight. Remember I showed you the data on the past 50 years of the S&P 500. It had 2 red years every 10 years. But Berkshire.B, the last time they had a second red year was starting at 2011, they had a red year. And then they had 3 green years. And then they had a red year in 2015. And then they had green years every year since 2015. And I'm not talking those small green years either. So I'm going to just run these numbers right quick. So 2015, they was down 12%. 2016, up 23%. 2017, up 21%. Okay, light year in 2018, up 3%. 2019, up 10%. 2020, up 2%. 2021, 28%. 22, 3%. 23, 15%. 24, 27%. 25, 11%. Woo! Let's go. Berkshire.B. Berkshire.B. Good job, Warren, man. Greatest of all time. That's what they say. All right. Let's check out if we got any more news. Dang, the stream been going for a long time. Normally, I only stream for between 30 minutes and an hour. But I'm streaming on TikTok for the first time. And, yeah, man. So, we going to keep it going. All right. Let's see if there's any more. Ding. Oh, man. So, this is on Market Watch on Twitter. Came out 4 minutes ago. It says, I experienced a catastrophic financial loss. How option trader Captain Condor led his followers to a $50 million wipeout. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's 32 years old. His name is David Chu, known as Captain Condor, guided 1,000 followers via a $5,000 a year Slack channel into a $50 million collective loss from a failed Iron Condor option strategy on the S&P 500. The wipeout occurred over a week ending Christmas Eve 2025 with a $30 million loss, y'all. Damn! Oh my God, that is insane. For the simple fact that people was paying $5,000 a year to be in this dude's Slack channel, that's insane in its own right. $5,000, you paid this dude $5,000. You better show me your profits, bruh. What you mean? What you mean? You charging $5,000 a year? God damn! You charging this nigga crazy, bro. You charging $5,000 a year, bro? You wildin' right now. You definitely wildin' right now, bro. I can't believe that. I can't believe it. All right, let me see what else you gotta say. Okay, the wipeout occurred the week ending Christmas Eve 2025 with a $30 million loss in one day from 90,000 plus users doing 0-day expiration spreads, amplified by a martingale system that double bets after losses until a market surge broke the strategy. Oh my God. Damn, they doing 0 DTEs out here, bro. Can you believe that? Bro, I can't believe that. They following dude, Captain Condor, doing 0 DTEs out here, bro. And they done lost 50 million, bro. They done lost. Oh my God. Oh my God. They lost 50 million, bro. They lost 50 million. That ain't even funny, bro. That ain't funny. That ain't funny at all, bro. I mean, I'm just trying to laugh because it's so painful, bro. You lost 50 million. You and your Slack team that was paying $5,500 a year, y'all lost 50 million together. And y'all lost 30 million in one day. So for the whole year, y'all lost 20 million up to Christmas Eve, and y'all lost 30 million that day. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What y'all doing, man? What y'all doing, man? Who y'all following, man? What y'all need to do is get some new strategies. Zero GTEs is the most risky way to trade, period. Period. The most risky way to trade, period, is doing 0-day options. I've never done one, ever. I would never do one. Are you crazy? You crazy, bro. I would never do a zero DTE, bro. Never. I'm not trying to risk like that, bro. I'm definitely not. All right, let's get to the next piece of news, man. So this is on Twitter. This is a conversation between Peter Tuchman, who's known as the Einstein of Wall Street, and Dan Ives, you know what I mean, from Wedbush Securities. I haven't checked it out before, so I'm playing it live for y'all. Let's see what they say.
Can you throw out a couple other names that are, what company did Google just buy?
I mean, like TAE, and TAE, which is at DJT, that was the nuclear fusion company that got announced last week. I think like IREN is another core power play that we're bullish on.
Okay.
SIFR is another one. Look, the reality is like we're now entering the energy piece of this AI revolution.
And so can you throw out a couple?
Okay, he said we are entering the energy piece of the AI revolution. So we need to look at some energy stocks for next year, y'all. Some energy stocks. And one that he named right here is IREN. IREN. That's the ticker symbol, y'all. IREN. Also, another one I know just off top is GEV. GE Vernova, y'all. GE Vernova. All right, man. This show been going on for a long time. Let's see. Do I have some more Instagram? What we gonna do in 2026, y'all? What we gonna do in 2026, y'all? Let me know.
Said, go get that bag. Go get that bag. Get that bag. Get that bag. Get that bag. Go get that bag. Get that bag. Go get that bag. Said, go get that bag.
Tell him. That's what we gonna do.
Go get that bag. Get that bag. Get that bag.
Get that
Get that
bag.
bag. Go get that bag. Get that bag. Go get that.
That's what we're going to do, y'all. 2026, we're going to get that bag. We ain't playing out here. We're going to get this money from the market, y'all. We're going to get this money from the market. That's what we're going to do, y'all. We're going to get this money from the market. We're finna run this bag up like it should be got. Let's go, y'all. All right, that's it, man. Dang, normally my streams is just between 30 minutes and an hour. We definitely been going long. My longest show ever. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, man, in the chat, y'all. Shout out to everybody on TikTok in the chat, y'all. So if you want to check out my free investing flashcards, you can check out the link is in the chat, y'all. The link is in my bio on TikTok. You can check it out. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings,